Third question goes to Representative Farrar, and it goes to Senator King for a 2-minute response.
Okay, Senator King, the question before, Representative Collins mentioned the rural hospitals. Since 2010, 58 of the rural hospitals have closed in the United States. Like you said, one in Arkansas, which was Crittenden County, and it was closed before the Affordable Care Act really took place. So according to the Arkansas Hospital Association, there are 19 hospitals in Arkansas that are designated financially vulnerable. According to the Stevens report, Arkansas hospitals will have a $200 million a year shortfall without the Arkansas workers. The Hospital Association estimates up to $400 million per year of uncompensated care costs, not uncompensated care, but the actual cost of care of these patients in the hospital. The question is, would you let these 19 and possibly more rural hospitals close because they're not passing Arkansas works? And how would, if not, or if so, how would you keep the emergency rooms open and health care for the people of rural Arkansas?
Okay, that's a good question. Now, I represent Senate District 5. It's parts of 7 counties. I'm a rural person. I'm a poultry cattle farmer. I have a rural district. I have 2 rural hospitals in my district, okay? So when you ask the real thing, but here's the reality in the rural areas. You know what, if you need one of the reasons hospitals in rural areas are going down is because if you need a serious surgery, you're going to Fayetteville, you're going to Springfield, Missouri, you're coming to Little Rock, okay? We're not having this, it's not the same type of rural health care that we looked at 30 years ago when I graduated high school, okay? So the use of rural hospitals is still important. It still is a need, okay? But it's not the same. So naturally, rural hospitals are going to be not having the amount of patients. I mean, they just don't. So if you look at situations like Missouri, for example, they cut the Mercy, laid off people up there in their hospitals. Okay? Missouri didn't expand Medicaid. They also laid them off down here in Arkansas. Okay? So you look at uncompensated care and emergency room use, yeah, we're going to have to do things to deal with that. But you can't sit there and increase the amount of money going out there to hospitals, and then all of a sudden it comes back and takes it away. If we take the money away, you know what? That's what other states are going through, okay? We can't continue to do this because one day, the one thing that they don't want to say is, folks, here's the bottom line of this whole thing, a lot of questions about money and everything. The money's going to run out. Our federal government cannot continue to spend money like it does. And in the meantime, we're trying to look at the X's and O's. Representative Collins and task force is doing that because eventually the money's going to run out.
Thank you. Rebuttal, Representative Collins, 1 minute.
Thank you. So there's going to be $744 million in uncompensated care in Arkansas over the next 5 years with Arkansas Works. Given that the hospitals and the insurance companies have the federal money coming in, we're not giving the hospitals anything for that. We're saying, you guys eat it. You got the patients coming in, you handle that on your own. If all those vulnerable hospitals were to close in that situation, according to Ivantics in 2016, their analysis, 1,876 healthcare jobs lost in Arkansas, 221,000 patient encounters lost, 2,589 community jobs lost, 5.3 billion to GDP lost over 10 years. Those are just estimates. That's assuming they all close. I'm not predicting that either. But what I am saying is $200 million a year extra in uncompensated care if we end Arkansas Works. The feds are not going to pay it. They scooped all that money into this Medicaid bucket because it's more efficient to treat people with an insurance policy than it is to treat them in the emergency room. Next, we're going to start talking about the hit to our budget. We haven't talked to that yet.